A brief look at polygamy in the Old Testament. Let us look at some of the verses from the Old Testament that allow polygamy. In Exodus 21:10, a man can marry an infinite amount of women without any limits to how many he can marry. In 2 Samuel 5:13, 1 Chronicles 3:1-9, 14:3, King David had 6 wives and numerous concubines. In 1 Kings 11:3, King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. In 2 Chronicles 11:21, King Solomon's son Rehoboam had 18 wives and 60 concubines. In Deuteronomy 21:15, if a man has 2 wives, and he loves one but not the other, and both bear him sons. There are a lot more verses from the Old Testament that allow polygamy, but I think that the above are sufficient enough to prove my point. 2. Polygamy in the New Testament. Jesus said, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law, the Old Testament, or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke or a pen, will by any means disappear from the law, the Old Testament, until everything is accomplished." Matthew 5:17-18. There is not a single verse from the New Testament that prohibits polygamy. Let us look at the following. 1 Corinthians 7:10. I instruct married couples to stay together, and this is exactly what the Lord himself taught. A wife who leaves her husband 11 should either stay single or go back to her husband. And a husband should not leave his wife. Notice, no command for the husband to remain single. This is because he can marry another single woman at any time. Matthew 5:31-32-31. It has been said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce. 32. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife, except for marital unfaithfulness, causes her to become an adulteress, and anyone who marries the divorced woman commits adultery. A man can marry multiple women, while the woman can only marry one man. Here Jesus warns that unlawful divorces will cause women to commit adultery, because they would still be married to their first husbands. Matthew 19:1-12:1. When Jesus had finished saying these things, he left Galilee and went into the region of Judea to the other side of the Jordan. 2 large crowds followed him, and he healed them there. 3 Some Pharisees came to him to test him. They asked, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any and every reason?" 4 Haven't you read, he, Jesus, replied, that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female. 5 And said, "For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh?" 6 So they are no longer two, but one. Therefore what God has joined together, let man not separate. 7 Why then, they asked, did Moses command that a man give his wife a certificate of divorce and send her away? 8 Jesus replied, Moses permitted you to divorce your wives because your hearts were hard. But it was not this way from the beginning. 9 I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife, except for marital unfaithfulness, and marries another woman commits adultery. Thanks for watching this channel Lixdorf TV. Please don't forget to share, support and subscribe to Lixdorf TV to make us #1 on YouTube.